last year when I was in here, I was about the most depressed man on the face of the earth, I think. This year, I'm the proudest guy that's in this stadium today. We had a team that came from nowhere, absolutely nowhere, being 0-2, and being one basket away from being the best team in the state of Ohio. And we're not that good. We play with more heart than any team I think that's ever put the uniform on in St. Wendelin. And tonight was, you know, I told the girls, when you make a tournament run, the ball has to bounce your way, and tonight it just took that one bounce the wrong way. They ended up with the possession, and the girls stepped up and made a nice play. But as a coach and our coaching staff, we couldn't be prouder of these girls. And I told them, you can cry in here, but when you get out to see your parents, you get your heads back up, because what they did was an unbelievable run.
Coach, can you talk about the defense? I mean, you held them to 10, 53 shooting.
We have a tremendous defense. We match up. You know, the coaches put together a game plan. The girls follow it to a T. And that's been a lot of our success. And we always box somebody. We boxed their best shooter, and I don't know what she scored, but I assume not a whole lot.
1 or 2 baskets.
Yeah. And the whole key to the defense is the proper rotation. Everybody overloads us, so we have to guard 2 girls for about 3 seconds. And then we jump off, and then when we match up. To be honest, I didn't think we could play them that close, back to back. We're not built for back to back. We don't sub. I don't know how they had legs at all tonight. They spent, unfortunately, all night in ice bath. We put a bunch of water and a bunch of bagged ice in a tub, and Cookie Drowski forced them to sit in it. But that being said, we just didn't get things done offensively. I think our nerves got us a little bit with the press. I mean, that's a very good basketball team. When you win your regional by 40 and 42 or something ridiculous like that, that's a pretty good team. To hold to 20, whatever they had, 29 points.
Aaron, you're pretty blunt. You're pretty blunt yesterday about the back-to-back and how you're not built for it. Does it all go back to the heart that you mentioned?
That's what kept our legs tonight. I mean, it was just determination to play. You know, the coaches talk, and we don't tell the kids this because they don't listen anyhow. But but you know, we knew when we went here that we had to sell out to get Jackson Center, and then we knew if we get that game, that's our championship, because playing back to back a team like Waterford, who goes 3 or 4 deep on the bench, is going to be tough. But the girls, you know, they came over to the timeouts. They were exhausted. But they kept fighting and fighting and fighting. And sometimes when you get tired, that pass gets a little bit too short, and that dribble gets a little bit higher. And I think that's just what was probably our downfall today.
Burns got a steal with about 30 seconds left. You called a timeout right after that. Just take us in the huddle. You had an opportunity to maybe hold for a final shot.
Well, it is impossible for our team to hold for a final shot because we can't handle the ball. It takes a big weapon out of our thing. You know, normally, anytime the scores, we go for the last shot, but not when a team's jump trapping us all over and we're just scouring for our life. You know, our whole game plan, we wanted to get it into Cam. We got it in, it was just a little bit short, and they took it, went coast to coast. I thought Haley did a tremendous job of getting the ball back down the floor and into Cam's hands. And, you know, our side she got fouled, their side she didn't get fouled.
So let's hear it from you, Cam. Did you get fouled?
This game, I don't know. She played pretty good defense. But I would like to get fouled so I can get on the line. Yes, I would. But it's how it went. So
You
can't
got
change it.
6 shot attempts tonight. Did what? Did Waterford do anything different than anybody has done differently
They,
against you all this season?
they pressured our guards a lot more today, so I couldn't hit the ball. It wasn't even about me, it was about the guards. And I think that's what other teams lack doing. They'll pressure Rutter and not Haley or Peyton, but they pressured everyone. So I think that was the key for them to beat us, so.
Girls, either one of you can answer this. I saw a big difference in your faces in that last minute than what I saw last year. You guys were down in Waterford, and you didn't seem to have the confidence last year. You guys came out on that floor in that 30-second timeout, like, it's just another game. Can you talk about the difference between last year and this year?
Experience, I think that's what the big thing I have. Like, I wasn't nervous coming down here, but last year I was so wound up. People were just like, why are you acting like this? Well, I'm nervous because this is my first time going to state for anything. So this year I was like, I know the floor, I've been here, I just gotta figure out, like, just to play my game. So I think that's what the big thing was for me personally, was just that I've already been here once. So there's no need to be, I shouldn't be as nervous, but that 30 seconds you said that I looked confident, I was inside, I was shaking. I was so nervous. And I think that's what got it. I was excited just because of the score and the whole entire game and the crowd, and then you got our coaches and you see our players and it's like, this is it. Like, you gotta step up or shut up. Like, it's how
Allie, you often talk about how Coach likes to yell at you in particular. With as loud as it was in there today, could you hear him at all?
So can hear
I don't think I yelled at you.
He didn't really yell at me that much today.
She's a superstar.
Oh, whatever. Actually, to be honest, I don't really listen to huddles. I just kind of look off.
Oh,
Okay,
that's-
so then I ask someone else.
we have a thing. He says she's an Allie bro. So I'm guessing that's where you go when he yells.
Yeah, I just stare right past him
No,
like, okay.
she is in Allie world, and I yelled to get her back to earth and back to the game.
Well, Allie World in the fourth quarter was from outside 3, and that's not
Ooh.
necessarily part of your game. Can you just talk about the shots you got there?
Tell her what Coach Strowski told you.
Oh yeah, Coach
and what you did.
Strowski. Since our legs are really tired, he told me, "Oh, don't shoot outside anymore. Just drive in." And I'm like, no, I'll just shoot outside. see what happens.
She wasn't even on the white line. She was above the red line. And that's not where you're supposed to shoot at. That's college. And you still, I was like, Allie, get in. And she shot. I'm like, oh God. I was like, yeah, she made it.
All right, describe the fatigue factor, ladies, and how did you dig deep and get something for that fourth quarter? Because you guys must have been exhausted.
Actually, I wasn't.
Really? Okay.
To be honest, my legs weren't as tired. Like, I think it was from, I like playing back to back. It's personally. I don't think that he thinks that we're good back to back, but for me personally, the Jackson Center, I was tired. But I think knowing the floor and the length of the floor and having to run up and down it the entire time and then coming to here, it was a breeze for me today. But I didn't have someone riding me the whole time, so.
Yeah. How about you, Allie? What about the fatigue factor? Were you spent? Are you spent?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, their press is really good because they were in a man like the first quarter. They were in a man, and then when I got closer to the half-court line, they jumped into a zone, and so all of our girls were down there when I still had the ball, and there's like 3 other girls up here, and I'm just like,
And let me ask you, I mean, there were times, even on inbound plays, and trying to bring the ball to the court, and nobody would run to the ball.
That's a good question for the other girls that aren't here, yeah. I mean, we worked on, even today, we went into Otterbein and worked on what we call the comeback drill, where you have to come back and come all the way through the ball, because we knew, I mean, that's why they're the best team in the state, is because they just put so much pressure on you all over the court. That's how you beat teams by 40 in the regionals. but we were supposed to be coming back through. But, you know, when you get on the state finals and you're playing two sophomores and a junior, and there's a lot of pressure out there, and it's one possession means the game, and, you know, sometimes you run down and you forget to run back, and sometimes we're yelling you to clear out, and then sometimes they get confused. But like Allie said, Waterford does such a nice job of disguising their presses, and you can't coach it. You can't coach it why it's going on. The kids have to read it, and we didn't do the best job of reading the press. And so they didn't know when there was supposed to be a trailer or when they were supposed to clear out and let Allie have it, and then who was supposed to come back, and it confused us an awful lot. And that caused a lot of turnovers. That's why we couldn't get, I don't know that our offense was that bad, we couldn't even get an offensive set. That's what hurt us.
Allie, what was it, a follow-up to the fatigue, what was it about, I guess, the drive, you know, as we talked, not that great at back-to-backs and that sort of thing, but what was it about the drive for, you know, y'all today, because it really seemed like you were all that fatigued?
Well, they kept saying, we want a ring, but, I think that it's just, it is determination, and we want this, like, we want it more than the other team, because they beat us last year, and it's not really about, like, how we are physically, it's a mental game.
Coach, how can you explain how they took 53 shots, you took 23, and you were still in the game?
Yeah, it happens all the time. We had a tournament game where somebody took 70, we took 30, and we won. If you take from the district, probably the first game of the district on, we probably total haven't taken 12 shots outside of the key. But historically, we've been shooting almost 70% because we get it to Cam, and Cam shoots 70%. They always get double shots. They did catch us with a lot of offensive rebounds tonight that hurt us. They attack the boards really hard. And sometimes with our defense, it does, you know, if they're aggressive like that, it does leave open the girl from the top of the key to come in and grab that board. There was sometimes they were getting 3-4 extra shots. I thought we matched up well, and, you know, I think they missed a lot of shots too. They hit a couple big ones, but that is very typical in our game. The other team usually is somewhere around 50 shots, and we're usually around 30. And we just hit a higher percentage.
Aaron, these are two better kids that walk through the halls in that school as far as girls basketball. Can you just talk about them a little bit?
Well, you know, I've been there 9 years, I guess. I think this is 9th or 10th or something like that. We've had some great players, Cookie Jarowski, and Francina, and Danny, and Heather. I don't want to name them all, but Rutter and Cam, our whole thing, every game is on their shoulders. You know, Rutter's the point guard, she's the only one that can bring it up, and Cam's got to do all the scoring. You know, I always have people come up and say, when are you going to get that big girl in shape? And I said, why don't you go out, get every rebound, run down the other end, score all the points, and then bring the ball up against the press and see if you get tired. I mean, that's what she has to do for us to win. And for Rutter, she has to get ridden like a horse every game and double teamed and trapped everywhere because our depth is just not there. You know, Haley does a great job as a third guard, but she's not a guard, she's a post player. And she does the best she can to do that. And our other players are role players. I thought Peyton played a great game today. She got a lot of big rebounds. She made a key shot for us. She had a great tournament. And Emma Prince, you know, she was in there to shut 22 down. And I think she did a pretty good job at that.
Hey, game plan wise, is there one thing you wish you would have done differently that might have kind of turned you out on?
Game plan wise, I don't know what it would be. I mean, we were bucking our heads all during the game on what offense to run. How do we get the ball from the press to Cam? You know, or how do we get it in? Our weak side was open, but they pressure our guards so much we can't see anybody. And I think that's the kind of kudos to Waterford. I think they're just a very good, aggressive, trapping team. But I think we read them like a book. I mean, we knew what we were walking into. We were just hoping we could get through it enough times to pick them off.
Cam, Allie, can you each maybe put into a few words on your careers? Go ahead, Allie.
Like what I would have done different today? Or?
No, just your career in a nutshell at St. Wendelin.
Well, first off, I think, did I start as a freshman? I don't remember.
Yes, you did.
Oh.
You rotated.
Okay. Well, I've had this airhead. No, I'm just kidding. No, you.
Oh, me?
I'm just kidding. As a coach for 4 years, and he's been tremendous. And Cam and I we've played softball together for like
4 years. 4 years and I played that.
Yeah, so we've gotten really close, and I've gotten super close with all the girls, but I think no one ever expected us to get to state, ever, like, it didn't even cross their minds, but I think we did a good job of shocking the world.
You know, it's 2 years in a row now where you guys, gone through Carrie, you've gone through Rutter. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I didn't think we were this far.
We did.
Hey, we cleaned the coach's office out twice. Put stuff back in.
Yeah. So Cam, I mean, I'm imagining you can probably walk out of here, you went out in your shield and you can walk out with your head held high.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I was like hyperventilating when we lost. I was so upset. This is my last year of high school basketball, this game, and I wanted it so bad. It was to the point where I was yelling at my sister from her. She's like, calm down. And I was like, you don't understand. This is my last game. Like you just don't understand where I'm coming from. But this 4 years is crazy. I don't even remember my freshman and sophomore year. Like it's been about like just getting here. I never would have thought coming to this little dinky school that I would have came and went to state twice. Like it's amazing. It's amazing that our fans and our community come out and support us both years. Like it's just crazy that we have so much support. Like yes, Waterford definitely had a lot more people, but we were definitely the loudest and had the most heart for us. And I want to give them like a round of applause just because they're always like happy for us no matter what. Like we could lose by 50 and they'd just be like, all right, yeah, good game, like get them next time. Like they're just amazing. And coaching staff, I've had him for 4 years, and I remember walking in scared because I had transferring like from Astoria to here. I had no idea what the whole Catholic thing was like, and the basketball, because I heard it was really good. So I come in and he's like, how tall are you? I'm like 6'2" at the time, and he's like, all right, just don't suck. So I mean, I was like, okay, I'm gonna like him. So I mean, and he's worked with me times before.
Yeah, I remember you as a freshman. You were a project.
Yeah, I wasn't good my freshman year. I was terrible. My foul shot was ugly. I couldn't make a bunny if someone was guarding me, because in 8th grade, no one's that tall. All I had to do was just stand up and just tip it off the backboard. But going into high school, I had bigger people, so I had to learn. And so I was definitely, I could say, a project. So, but it's been a great ride, and I hope these coaches will be in my life forever. I don't want to stay out of contact with them. They're like family, and my players are my teammates are my teammates are family too. So, and I don't ever want to get out of contact with them.
And I wasn't feeling too bad until, who's the guy that pointed out they took 30 more shots? We lost by 2. That's, I don't know how you do that.
Why not do you?
I didn't think till I read it on the paper and said, geez, maybe they need to learn how to shoot a little bit. No. Get one shot at him. Thanks a lot.
Growing up as a basketball player, did it help having a coach in the house?
Yeah, it did. He would tell me to, actually, he texted me earlier today, and he said that if I was getting base skirted, that I need to use other players as a pick, like when they're not even supposed to be picking for me, and just like run them off them or something. And my dad helps me tremendously. He takes me in on Sunday afternoons to shoot, and my sister guards me or my brother guards me. So I don't know, and I learned from Chelsea and Brady's mistakes that those are my sisters and brothers. And so I think I'm a better player because